welcome back. I hope you're having a good day. Got us a familiar subject here, and it's my Jacaranda, and it's growing plenty. The wire's biting in, and you'll be able to see my thought process probably a little more after I do what I'm going to do, but I'm going to take the wire off, and I'm going to chop this thing down. But first, I'm going to get the wire off. So... Alright, and then always go a little bit lower if I want. I think I'll start right about here and then just kind of think about it. My thought process here is I do want to keep it somewhat of a manageable size. There's lots of days where I get out there and water in the morning, and then by the afternoon I see it wilting up already, so it's just got a lot of foliage and a lot to, it is just in this little pot here, so a lot of foliage to keep up with. And I mean, basically, I only had the wire went up to right about there, so this whole piece here grew since I put the wire on, where with these two other kind of main branches, there's a couple other little smaller ones in here or whatever, but these two grew, like that much, probably not even half as much as the apex was here. So I figure if I kind of kill the momentum here for a minute, let these two catch up, they'll probably get sucked up by the sun quite a bit. If that gets too out of hand, I can always put the guy wires back on there, but I think I'll just leave everything off for now. But I'll let these two kind of catch back up, and then next year, and I got this, I decided to keep that one for now. Comes off the side of this branch. This one's sprouted, I guess. I don't think that was there before. And then this little one here, which was the back branch I talked about in one of the older videos or whatever, but it didn't hardly grow at all, maybe like that much or whatever. So now with some sunlight hitting there, I have unfortunately done this at times with my other one, the one out in the yard, where this got a little sunburn, but it should be okay. I can put it in a little shade if I want to, but I would rather have it used to getting plenty of sun here or whatever. But should let all the rest of these kind of catch up a little bit, and then maybe next year I'll think about balancing it out. I did just repot it this year, so I probably won't repot it next year. And now that I'm kind of looking at this, I do think I want to go just a little bit deeper with that. And maybe down to about here. I just took one more node off. Just kind of bring it down a little bit more. And now that I got this smaller piece in my hand, I'm going to go ahead. You can see there where it was cutting in a bit. Wasn't cutting in quite as much on the side branches, again, because most of the energy was going straight up. So I did, at one point, I do have this scar. I have that pointing towards the back of the tree. But, I was at one point thinking I wanted to let that go as much as possible, try to heal that scar up. But now I've got this branch coming out here that'll also help cover. It's the end of July, but for us, my growing season goes right on through at least the beginning of November. Things start slowing down a little bit then, but not even all that much right then. Mainly just December and December and January. Tried to work this a little bit once before, and this wood, and this, I mean, it's the only Jacaranda I've got other than the one out in the yard. And man, that wood gets hard. That's what she said. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that like that today, and that should back bud and sprout again, and the rest of it really should start kind of catching up to it and stuff. I hope you're having a good day. That last update, or that last bit of this video, was shot on July 22nd. Today is August 28th. I chopped it right here, and it's already got a kind of a new leader. There's another branch coming out of that side, and then a small one coming out just above that scar. Not in the bigger scar that I kind of worked there a little bit. Maybe a ½ inch up from it. But I'm going to leave it there in the hopes maybe that'll thicken it up and also just kind of help cover that scar up or whatever. But everything's doing well. After I made this chop, the idea was I was trying to, you know, here was the main branch, and then here was the main branch, and then here's these other two that kind of, this one comes off the trunk. This one is actually coming off of this other main branch or whatever. But these two were really going strong. The one on this side, and I think I've put this tree through a little bit of torture to just kind of prove that I was able to keep the, where I broke it when I was wiring it alive or whatever. And that this side got really, really long, and it wasn't really reaching up for the sun, because this was kind of weakened here, and it was just sagging really down. It was going way out, just kind of getting really out of proportion. So I cut it off. There was like a secondary branch coming out there. Kind of weird. I cut it off. I was thinking the momentum would go there, and that kind of actually died off just a bit, and it's got two new branches there. After I did that, then suddenly this other one really started taking off, so I had to cut that one too. It's starting to recover. That's the last chop I made. It's just starting to recover. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 new ones, new little branches coming up out of there. I'm going to kind of clean it up now that I've just done all this chopping and stuff. I've just got all these older, bigger leaves that are just kind of part of, you know, from the chop. And so I'm just going to kind of clean it up a little bit. I was going to wait a little bit longer to do the update, because here soon that's going to be way up there again. But I thought maybe if I kind of had everything when everything was nice and compact, you guys could kind of see the thought process a little more. Sometimes that pruning process and having it in a pot is in the name of keeping the leaves small. They're smaller for now, but it's not going to last that way. I mean, these will be huge in no time, and you know, still don't really think it's the greatest species for bonsai. I don't know why they sell it in that kit like that, but whatever. I'll try to make some lemonade out of the lemons. I did kind of forget to mention that when I chopped this actually in the video, and then I chopped this one because that was the broken branch side kind of laying it down. Chopped this one just to kind of like let this one catch up. I did pinch these two because they started really taking off too. So these two, I originally had some wire on. I could probably put, I think that is what I'm going to do, is get a little guy wire from them. I actually had the 2 guy wires here that were holding these down. Don't really need that now. Got a lot of action going on this one now. There's a little dead branch there. I'm going to pull that out, just kind of get it out of the way. Yeah, so kind of the advantage to having things in a pot like these, you can just kind of, I take a knife, I just poke a hole and you can just kind of put the wire in where you want it. I put the hole over here because I do want to try to drag it away from, it's going to really turn into kind of a four-way thing here. Again, this will never be an informal operate or any kind of, anything. Get it to bloom in a container. That's one of the things that I think the only real trees you see like that have been photoshopped, or they're really big. I have seen a couple of examples of some really big ones, but if I could have it in a smaller container and get it to bloom just once, probably make me happy. Oh, I forgot I had this guy wire here for this one already. I was getting ready to put it into a hole in there, but so that'll work. Eventually, I mean, I have been thinking all along that would be the front. See the trunk, it's got some movement coming towards you a little bit. You can't really see that one scar there. And then that would be the back side. But you never know, once that scar heals up, I don't know if you guys can really see that or not, but once that scar really does heal up a little bit more, if it does, which looks a lot better than it did last time, but that may make a nice looking front one day too.